Right, we are going to start standing. So you can blocks or books or whatever you got. Down by the side of your mouth. Although some of you might hear the first part, so actually you might want to keep it nearby.
I'll just give them a hand.
Yeah. Okay, let's stand on our with our feet wide on our mat, so our feet slightly turned out. And I want you to just be aware whether or not you're on both, balancing both sides of the body. Shoulder roll, as always, inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth as you shoulder roll them down. Carry on. So just do a couple more here. And on your second one, just push your fingertips down towards the floor, open your palms, spread your fingers wide, and then physically push your shoulders down, drop your chin to your chest. So that lovely little stretch through the neck. Neck. Okay. Should be John, shouldn't it?
Should.
Roll your chin towards the armpit. Pause. I don't mind which side you go. Just feel that stretch. Push the chin a little bit lower. Continue to breathe through the nose. Out the mouth. Roll to the center and then roll to the other side. Pushing down the opposite arm. Tucking the chin. Roll back through center, lift your eye gaze up, keeping your arms pressed down, drop your ear towards your shoulder, push your opposite arm down towards the floor. So just side flexions. When you do side flexion, don't let your chin drop. Try and keep your chin slightly elevated and then just think about literally that side flexion. Push a little bit deeper. Inhale, center, over to the other side. Carefully transitioning. Press down the opposite arm. And then come back to center, raise your arms up. Interlacing the fingers, stretch your arms high. Feel the stretch coming down all the way down through your lat. Reach up. Shoulders down. Lengthen the arms. Side bend. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Now, start to fix in the buttocks. Squeeze them. Squeeze your abs. Isolate a little bit more through the hips and feel the side flexion coming from your waistline. Inhaling center, exhaling to the other side. Start to activate your obliques. Start waking them up. Just go one more. Come back into center. And I want you to open your arms, soften the knees, and dive with a flat back. So your arms are going to come behind. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Imagine you're lengthening your spine and then float down. Let your arms drop. And then come to immediate stretch, bending, extending the legs, keeping that wide stance. So I'm swaying my hips side to side. The legs wider allows a little bit more give. So pushing to one side, straightening out that leg, pushing to the other side, straightening out the opposite leg. Now this is where you might want to use your block if you tighten the hamstrings. You can rest your hands because I want you to use your arms to push over from one side to the other. Just enjoy a little bit of freedom through the hip. Bending and leaning to one direction and really straighten the opposite leg. Just go another 2 each side. I'm assuming you're feeling a little bit stiff after a couple of weeks. Great. Back to the middle and see if you can straighten those legs. Sink your head and chest down. Move your block in towards your toes a little bit more. Walk your fingers in, whatever you need to do. Lift the hips, soften the spine, drop down. Keeping a wide stance in your legs, move your blocks to the side, bend your knees, hands to the floor. You're going to walk forward into a wide leg plank on your hands. Pause here. Have a look towards me. We're going to let the feet drop over to the side, simply lift the arm up and squeeze the hips and look up towards the hands. Then we're going to float the arm back down again, rotate onto the toes and go to the other side. So we're just moving through side plank, gracefully, and just thinking, look at this lovely warm up. Opening out, rolling back onto the edges of your feet, turn your hips, lift up, perhaps squeeze those shoulder blades back before you roll back into center and rotate the other way. So don't do it too fast. Just go 2 more each side. So 4 more. Lift, squeeze. Squeeze out underneath buttock. 1 more each side, unless you've gone a little bit faster. Pause and hold your plank when you've done your last one. So come back to the middle. Pause. Lengthen through the back of the knees. Pull your kneecaps up towards your hips. Pull your shoulder blades together, soften the elbows, lengthen the spine. And then just carefully drop the knees to the floor. Keeping your toes pressed under, sit back into your heels. And I want you to stretch your arm forward and drop your head and chest as low between your arms as you can go. Reach those fingers. Push your bottom back. Melt your chest to the floor. Nice little stretch right down the lat, sides of the back. Okay, we're going to roll through the body, slide the hands onto the shoulders, come onto hands and knees, and lift your left leg up behind you. Then take your right arm up. So my foot is flexed at the back, pushing the heel away. My palms facing down towards the floor. Okay, so we're just going to curve the spine. We're going to do 8 of these. Kick away, reach the arm. When you've done 8, you're going to drop just the arm only and keep that leg floating. Do you know what? I really miss teaching over Christmas.
No, I'll get it if I'm not missing.
Did you, were you supposed to go to Disneyland?
Oh yeah, we cancelled that.
This is the trains, weren't they?
Yeah, but also my husband was ill anyway, so it was a good thing anyway.
Oh.
Okay, I've done my last one. I'm dropping my hat. Okay, now bend that knee and then lower the knee down towards the floor, open it out to the side and circle it all the way around and back around. Now, if you want, you can get a lot of deep bend in your right elbow to allow that give and that movement. We're mobilizing the hips, we're opening everything up, and your right butt is going to start to feel the movement from the stabilization. 2 more in this direction, and then we're going to reverse it. So the leg kicks up to the sky, opens out and turns back around. Doing 8 of these. So I'm on 5, got 3 more to do. All the way up, back and round. Last one for me. And then drop the knee down. Curve the spine, move out the shoulder blade. Come down onto your elbows, tuck your toes under and lift up into a dog and an elbow downward facing dog. Now first we'll use this as a lovely stretch. Bend the knee, lift your bottom to the sky. Straighten your spine a little bit more. Pull your shoulder blades together as you push your chest further down towards the floor. And then extend your legs, pressing the belly high. Now slide those toes away a little bit. Your option here, we're going to start off doing the same one together. We're going to roll forward, plank, then straight back up again. And again, roll forward, plank, lift straight back up again. If you want more, bend your left foot like we're doing just now. Roll forward, keeping the knees aligned, and lift straight back up. So I'm just keeping 90-degree angle position through the leg, and lifting up. 4 more. And where you are. Warm up that body. Last one. Lift up high. Return the leg. Your leg is in the air. Squeeze and lift the hips high. Roll forward into a plank. Hold the plank up and down. So your knees, drop your knees, take pressure off. 8, 7, 6, 5. We're going to come straight down to the floor after this. Last 2, and then lower it down to the ground. Pillow. Now, keeping your upper body relaxed, let the shoulders drop, squeeze the belly. So my feet are about hip width apart. I'm going to take them to the corners of my mat a little bit wider and lift them up into a floating position. Squeeze the butts and lift. Squeeze the legs together. Get them touching, knees touching, thighs touching, press in. Then open them back out and then lower them to the floor. Lift your upper body up. Open out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Bend them back around to the forehead and lower to the floor. Lower body lift. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Bend them together, bend them together, bend them together. Open them back out. And lower. Upper body lift. Open out, line the shoulders, squeeze those arms up, shoulder blades right up to the sky. Then back around and lower down. If it's too much for your lower back, then just do one leg on its own, pulling it into center, taking it out and swapping to the other side. Otherwise, do exactly the same as we just did. And then in the upper body, you might just want to open the arms out. That might be enough for you. And then return back.
When I pull my feet in, it's almost going heel to heel. I can't seem to get my feet parallel. It's sort of.
That's fine. Yeah, as long as you're doing your maximum squeeze. We'll open back out.
I was just watching you.
It's because my feet naturally turn in, yours naturally turn out. So I'm more likely to get my toes touching than my heels. I don't like to turn out, but.
Yeah.
So I think this is number 5. Is it number 5?
Oh, at least 7 counting.
Now, what I want you to do, keep going once I talk. When you do your upper body, you lift. You don't pull your arms back here. You lift them up to the sky, squeezing the shoulder blades to their maximum. Pull them up, work those upper postural muscles. Then bring them back. I want you to feel this squeeze right at the very top of your shoulders. Okay, so after this one you're doing, you're going to do one more, okay? So one more onto the lower body. One more to the upper body. And then briefly drop everything down to the floor. Take a quick hip roll. Engage everything again. Inhale, lift your upper body and your lower body. Close the legs, reach the arms. Squeeze and lift everything high and press the arms up and down for 10, 9. Now squeeze your legs together. Squeeze your belly, squeeze your butt. Now lift your chest. 3, 2, last one.
You started.
Really. Wriggle those hips. Bring your hands beside your shoulders. Carefully transition up, back into child pose, reaching your arms forward. See if you can sit your bottom back into the heels this time. Stretch the arm, sink the head and chest down. If it's not for you, come to your elbows, cat stretch. So from earlier on, your class started 15 minutes ago. I thought it was a new time.
One press up per minute late.
Yeah, exactly. Burpee.
Shut up. So where was that said?
In all the Club Right emails and on the new timetable. Have you not received any of them?
Well, to be honest, they could have all gone into my other folder and I've not caught up with them.
Are you okay doing a
I'll just do
half
what-
an hour?
Yeah, I'll just do what I do.
That's right, you can join them right now. This is a nice place. Do you want to come in? We can come in here.
Okay.
Right in the camera.
It's a big map.
Right in the camera, but don't worry, you will be there.
I was going to say, I'm not sure I can pull these.
Got a big map.
No, it's fine.
Sure. Yeah,
No, just do it. It's gone.
oh yes, I've got Matt here. We've just been greedy. We keep that little one under if you like, and then that one's a bit cushioned. You can.
Honestly, don't give a shit.
Let's just go. Okay, guys, so stretch out your arms a little bit more. You can wear my blocks. Your blocks are beside you. We're going to use them now. I've got my pretend one there. So you put your hands on top of blocks and bring them in close. So bring them in onto a mat, hands flat. We're going to lift the body up. We're going to do a little tricep. Press forward. Then you might go as far as there. That's fine. Lift yourself back up. Curve the spine, spit back into your heels. Eye gaze up, roll it, bend the elbows, press back up and roll it back. So what I want you to do is make sure that you stay in control of your body in terms of if you feel like you're collapsing through your hips, you've gone too low. If your bottom is getting lower than your chest, you've gone too low. You've lost your core stability. This is all about trying to allow your chest to roll forward, your elbows squeezing in, pushing all the way back up. So I've kind of left my bottom behind every time. Then I sit back, I leave my bum up here, and I drop my chest down, push my upper body up, curve it, and so on. So 4 more of these, lovely. Make sure you've got enough gap between your blocks to roll down forward and then push back up. Use the backs of those arms, squeeze those bellies in nice and tight. When you've done your last one, just stick it back into top pose and just enjoy a quick breathe. Lovely. Now, we did the left leg earlier. We're going to go to the right leg, and with this next exercise, I'll tell you to swap over halfway through. Okay. And we're all going to come back up onto our hands and knees. And we're going to take our right leg up behind and flex the foot, so we're pushing the leg away, and then take your left arm forward. Find your balance, squeeze the belly. And we're going to go to that curling under. We're going to do 8, not fast, reaches under. So we do 4, and then swap. Press the leg away, reach the arm, my palms down. You might want to prefer to turn it kind of to the side. It's up to you. Now remember, when we do that last one, we're going to keep the leg up and we're going to return the hands. So you've done your 4 sorts again. Okay. Flex the foot behind and then bend the knee. So we're going to let the knee drop down towards the floor. We're going to open it out to the side, bend the left elbow to allow some give and circle it around. So just imagine we're doing big hip circles, taking up, back and round. You can bend the elbows to allow yourself to kind of rotate a little bit more. Squeeze the tummy so you've still got some control. We're going to do 8 in one direction and 8 in the other direction. So we do 8 in one leg, 8 in the other. Stay in the same direction. Okay. Big movement. Reverse it when you are done. We take the leg up behind, back out to the side, back down. Left buttock should be starting to feel this. The one that's on the floor.
The other one.
The right one.
Yep.
Stabilize your leg more so than moving up front. Anyone?
Yeah.
So,
Your left buttock that feels it.
yeah,
Last 2.
I'm doing it wrong then.
Now, when we've done that last one, drop the leg down to the floor. Curve your spine. Drop down to your elbows. No, don't drop down to your elbows. I'm fine. Tuck your toes under. And I do drop down to your elbows. Gosh, sorry. And then lift your hips up. Cool. We did. Dolphin. Yes. So our dolphin is going to move forward again. First 2 repetitions are done with both feet on the floor. So we slide the toes back, we roll forward, and then we squeeze the belly to lift back up again. After you've done 2, you have the option to lift your right leg back up into that 90-degree angle and keep the knees level as you lower your hips and lift the leg a little bit higher when you lift up into that kind of downward facing dog position. So my left leg's dead straight, rolling through the toes. We're doing 8 of them. Completely optional. So when you've done your last one, you're going to lift the legs. Sorry, put the foot down, lift the hips to the sky, walk the toes in a little bit, stretch. And then bend the knees so they come to a hover. Take your eye gaze forward and hold. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, kick one heel to the bottom and the other heel to the bottom. You can stay there. If you need to drop your knees at any point to ease off, do, and then come back again and join in. Little kicks, little tiny donkey kicks. Your knees should be hovering off the ground, not too high. 8 more. Or you can just stay in a hover, that's absolutely fine. Have you drifted back to watching your toes again? I go forward. And when you've done your last one, look down to your knees, extend your arms and slide back into quite a narrow stance, child's pose. You can bring your arms around this time and let your arms drop. Now, grab those blocks again. You don't have to use blocks. You can, the nice thing about blocks is it just allows a little bit more mobility through your shoulders. And this time, you're going to hold them wide out here. Fingers very slightly pointing out towards the corners of the room, which puts your elbows in a better position. And we're going to reach as far as we can go. We're going to lift our bottoms and we're going to drop down in between the thumbs. So chest between the thumbs, lift back up and push those bottoms back again. Option is, if you wish, to lift the knees, come down into push up and do it without the knees. But you push the knees down to return that stretch. Or if you really want a bit more challenge, you can lift the bottom but keep the knees hovered and then come forward again into push-up. They are your options. Wherever you are, slow and controlled. Now, when you drop down, if you feel your noses are going between your blocks, you know that you've got your blocks too far away from your toes. Bring them in a little bit. It's your chest that needs to hit the ground. We're going up and down, up and down. So Mark, lift up first, come forward and then drop down. That's it, lovely. I'm sorry, you do it your way. You do it your easy way. Right, 3 more, guys. Now make it a little bit stronger. Maybe slide your knees back a little bit more. Maybe try one without your knees on the ground.
Maybe lift as well. Just use your nose.
Yeah, why not? Use anything you want. Oh dear.
So how do these blocks?
Okay, when you've done your last one, do you think so?
You've got below where you're not.
Split it back, yeah, range, more mobility, more range, yeah. Take a nice little stretch, fingertips on those blocks perhaps, or you can release the hands if you prefer. And then move your hands off the blocks, hands on the floor, tuck your toes, lift those hips up. We're going to lift the left leg high to the sky. A little bit of yoga here. Now, right leg down, chest pressed down to the side, shoulders equal, squeeze that left butt, you can raise that leg as high as it will go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Look forward towards me. We're going to roll forward. The knees coming to the outside, down to the wrist, back up to the elbow, kick it back to the sky. There's your challenge. Come forward. Elbow, wrist, elbow, and up. Option is to drop the knee down here and then come forward to there. Okay? And then lift back up. And there's your challenge. So even dropping your knee down is a challenge because you've got to lift your knee back up again. This is going to turn into a wonderful stretch. So if you're feeling like, oh my God, this is really bad, this is really difficult, persevere. I want you to give me one more. So lift that leg, come forward, all together this time. Elbow, wrist, elbow hold, 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 hold. Look at me. Drop to pigeon.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do that.
Hey, little stretch, guys. So you want your left knee over to the left side of your mat, your left foot over to the right side of your mat. Or come to that. So come into like a seated hurdle position.
Not for sure, you know. It's too early in the year to be that flexible.
Use a block to protect any, like if you feel like that needs protecting, and then bend that back leg a little bit more behind you. Is that okay? Perfect. Right, so no matter which one you are in, raise your right arm up. So if you're in seated hurdle, lift the chest and get a bit of a stretch, that's it. And extend the elbows, guys. Look up to the sky. Back extension, back bend, come on, reach. Then reach the arm forward, and everyone just drop down over that leg. So I want you to find your stretch. Adjust yourself a little bit until you find your stretch in your left buttock. If you want more, you can wiggle the foot forward a little bit on that left leg.
And if you want less.
If you want less, you don't get less. You can catch a feeling that you were. So when I do this stretch, because it's quite deep in the piriformis and it's quite a tight area for me, I like to wriggle it side to side slightly, because for me it's actually quite painful. Really stretching my buttock, yeah.
Left knee.
That way you feel it. Then if you're feeling your knee, not your buttock, get into that position. You'll get about a buttock stretch
So I
like
have to
that.
get out of this position.
No, you just fall into your left buttock, just fall. One, all the way down. That's it. And now, take that foot forward. And now lean towards the block. Either one, which one get more of a stretch? Got it?
I've always been good at pigeon potty, you know.
Okay. Come up onto your hands. Tuck your toes. Plank. Take your feet a little bit wider. Drop your knees if you need to. Drop down. Elbow, elbow, and hands swap to the other side, alternating. Now this is so much easier to drop to your knees and do. Those of you that are dropping to your knees, just don't keep your bottom up here. Yeah, pointless. Bottom down, core strong, alternating. Try and get your hand where your elbow is to work that upper body. If you're doing this on your toes, if your knees off the ground, then just be very aware, are you wobbling your hips side to side? And breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm trying not to get a sweat on today, because I'm not going to be able to shower for you. But I've got a sweat on. Okay, great, guys. Keep it going. We're going to do 4 more. Squeeze those butt cheeks. Squeeze those abs. Shock your body. It's had a break. Wake it up. No point in making it easy. Hold your plank if you can at the top on your hands. If you need a quick break, maybe come into a down facing dog with wide split stance with the legs. Hold it. Now look towards me. Turn your feet, I don't mind where you go, onto the sides of the feet, open out. If you need a low level, drop the knee on the floor, side plank on the knee on the ground, or both knees off. Now lift those hips and press them up. Squeeze them up. 8, look to the sky. 7, squeeze your shoulder blade behind you. 5, scoop the belly in. Come on, lift it, last 2. Where those hip presses, guys, up and down. Roll to the middle. Carefully transition to the other side. Lift. Press up. Squeeze that top shoulder blade and up to the hand. Come on, reach it, reach it, reach it, reach it, reach it. Breathe. 3, 2, last one. 1, roll back to the center, drop to your elbows, plank, hip presses up and down, squeezing up and down. 15, 14, 13. Options just on your knees if you need to. Just try not to give up. Just keep the whole thing going. 9, 8. Now pull your tummy muscles up to the sky. That's what's going to work your core. 5, 4, 3, last 2. 1 more. And knees to the floor. Roll it back. Relax the arm. Or cat stretch, wherever you feel works for you. Work at your own level, but work hard. Come forward, hands and knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. So just bend your knees a little bit and lift your bottom and melt the chest again. Get that, reset that beautiful position, that postural position. Once you've got a nice, strong, straight spine, you can then press your heels to the floor for that stretch. Okay, lift the right leg to the sky, point your toes, squeeze the butt as high as you can and straight legs if you can, and try not to turn your shoulders. Keep everything in the center. Then we come forward and we bring the knee to the elbow, to the wrist, to the elbow, and back up to the sky again. Option is to come forward, drop the left knee, pull the knee in, pull the knee down, pull the knee in, and then lift the knee again to take the leg high. And that's actually quite hard. Now, the main place you should feel this apart from your shoulders is your obliques on that right leg, on that right side of your waist. Two more, don't rush it. And also that leg that's rolling, the one that's on the left leg, that's the one, don't bend the knee, keep it dead straight, roll with the toes. Okay, you're going to do one more, guys, all together. So lift the leg up high. We'll do this together. Come forward. Knee to elbow, to wrist, to elbow. Hold, hold. Squeeze the tummy. Last 5 seconds. Lift it up. And then what you're going to do is just turn the leg to transition to pigeon. Lift up high. Don't collapse yet. So if I'm pigeon, if this doesn't get your knee on the right side, does it?
We'll find out.
Pull your shoulders back, lift your chest, raise your left arm, look up. Think of this as a back extension. So you're not rotating to the side, you're keeping your chest forward, and then you're trying to back bend behind you. It's difficult not to rotate though. And then reach, come down, find your stretch. So if you're coming into this position, find the best place. Might be towards the foot, might be more towards the thigh. And again, you're feeling that, you tighten your buttocks, wriggle side to side. Just take another long, deep breath here. And we're all going to just sit down into our buttocks and we're going to take our feet around. So the blocks are quite handy for reverse tabletops. We can use those. If you slide them back behind you and leave them there, then slide your hands behind the back of the thighs and lift yourself up tall. Shoulders press back, elevate through the spine. Now lift those legs, 90-degree angle. Roll back into the buttocks and then pull your chest up high. Straighten those legs, hold them to the thighs, stretch the hamstrings. Toes in, heels away. Be as straight as you can. Bend the knees back. Release your arms. Hold. So nice little tabletop hold. You have options to make it harder. You can straighten the legs. You can reach the arms. Lift the chest, squeeze. Straighten. 10 seconds here. Arms up, arms up. And then bend the knees. Roll forward. Blocks behind you. Turn your fingers in and press your hands onto the block. So adjust them so that you've got them in the right place. That's what all blocks are. Slide your feet in and let's lift up. So fingers facing in, flat hand on the block, or curve the fingers over and then lift those hips up. So just give you a little bit more freedom. You struggle with this usually. Just helps you lift higher. Now get those chests as high as you can. Squeeze the hips, lift them to the sky. Squeeze your butt, and if your neck is strong enough, you can let your neck drop back. Stay up looking towards the light or forward towards the knees. Breathe, lift, squeeze. Physically squeeze your butt with your hamstrings activating. One more breath. And then down. Fall forward. This time, as you fall forward, bring the soles of the feet together and just come forward into a lovely stretch into your lower back. And my feet are quite far away from the groin, and you're just letting yourself drop. And then carefully roll it up. Bring your knees together again. Roll onto the buttocks. Fold. Straighten those legs. Flex the feet. Lift the chest and shoulders pull back and down. And then bend the knees, tabletop, release the arms, hold using your abs. And again, if you want more, straighten the legs, toes pointed, lift the arms. And lift the chest so you're not curved in the spine. You can keep your arms here if you prefer. You can keep your legs here and do the arms maybe. 7, 6, 5, 4. Pull them in. 2, and bend the knees, roll forward. So now we're going to do reverse tabletop with our fingers pointing out behind. So turn your hands that way. So basically your wrists are facing towards your feet. Bring your blocks close in behind you, so get as much squeeze to the shoulder blades as you can. So I want them kind of in line with your buttocks. As in behind you, as in pull them onto your mat. Oh, right behind you. And then turn your fingers away, lift. Hey, come on, get up, get up, get up. Chest up, toes down. Squeeze the knees together, squeeze your butt, lift your chest as high as it will go. Fabulous stretch through the front of those shoulders, yes?
Elbows.
Elbows.
Wrist.
There's always one from there, always. It's use your hands.
No.
One more breath. And gently. Good. This time, bring the soles of the feet closer together. Stretch here. Lift tall. Knees down, chest forward.
Yeah, down before you
And then look down towards your toes. Let your spine curve back and just come down into a forward fold. As far as you can go. Doesn't matter if you go a few inches, a couple of inches, an inch. And then lick your toes.
Lick my kneecaps.
You can lick your shoulder.
Can't do that. That's as far as I can get.
And then carefully ease it off. Bring those knees back together. Slide your hands underneath. Come roll back into the butt. The last time we do it, we're just going to jazz it up a little bit. By choice. So, straighten the legs. Lift the chest, shoulders back. Straighten those hamstrings. Feel a bit looser now. Then tuck the knees quite close in towards you and take your arms forward. This is your starting point. If you can, lower, extend, and pull back up for one. If this doesn't work for you guys, do feet to the floor, arms up, and then see if you can pull back in again. Or catch the thighs and gently pull back in. Encourage it. Otherwise, extend and in. Do what works for you. 8, 7, if you're with me, but don't worry if you're not. 6, got up. 5, 4, 3, last 2. Give me one more. And grab those legs at the top. Lovely. Flex the feet, get hold of those feet, slide them away and come into a forward fold hamstring stretch. So it doesn't mean to say your legs are going to go dead straight. But I want you to really hold on to the feet. That's the most important thing here. So I've got a firm grip. I've got my palms all the way over. And then I'm using my arms to pull myself forward. So the block, if you get the blocks, you can always feel really tight in your hamstrings. Sit on the blocks, push them together. And each butt cheek's got a place to sit. Going to forward fold. Relax the head and the chest. Your lower back, just stretch. Make it deeper. Come on. Yes. Good. And then carefully just ease it up. And just reach behind. Do a little gentle chest forward, shoulders pull back. Your heart rate should be nice and normal now.
Big red face in the
Feel
mirror.
like you're not even gasping for anything. You're not red face. Split the hands behind, feet behind. Come to your hands and knees. Where we started. I want you to tap your toes, lift your hips, and walk your hands all the way to your feet. And I want you to sit, just kind of be comfortable in this stretch. Let your whole body just relax. Catch your elbows, just a little sway side to side, and enjoy that motion through the lower back. There's no right or wrong here, just work. Stretch. Back to the middle. And we're going to scoop very slowly up through the belly, rolling the spine, stack it one by one. If you need to put your hands into your thighs for a little bit of support, then do so. Back's being a little bit vulnerable today. Once you stand onto your feet, you always do that little shoulder roll. It always resets everything. Squeezing back. Have a look at your foot position. Are they equal? They're in the right place. And then open your palms wide. Stand tall and take an inhalation up to the sky. Bring the hands together. Stretch up one more time. Reach. Bring yourself down. Bow all the way forward. All the way up. Give yourself a clap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.